Hello friends, we are back with the next lecture in the series of Public Administration as an option for UPSC mains examination. So today let us discuss chapter 1 in paper 1, which is an introduction to public administration. We are Paperless Education India. We welcome you. So let us go through what are the contents of this chapter 1. The first topic will be meaning, scope and significance. Wilsonian view on public administration. Friends, here PA means public administration. Evolution of public administration. NPA means new public administration. PCP means public choice perspective. These are various schools, different schools of public administration given by different administrative thinkers, by different scholars. Next topic will be challenges of LPG. LPG means liberalization, privatization and globalization. Then good governance. After that NPM. NPM means new public management. So this will be the contents of this chapter 1. Friends, I wanted to discuss with you a couple of things regarding. First thing is the study material, which textbooks you should refer for this optional paper, public administration. I suggest you to go through two very good books. The first one being Public Administration by M. Lakshmikant. It's a very basic one, easy to understand. After every chapter, there are objective questions, MCQs, which you can solve. And another book is New Horizons on Public Administration by Mohit Bhattacharya. This is a wonderful book, very much conceptualize the concepts in a very nice manner, very understanding manner. So I suggest you to go through these two books. And another thing is how to make efficient utilization of this lecture. See, first I suggest you to listen to this lecture and not write anything. And the second time, I want you to listen to this lecture and take running notes. And then soon after you do this, go through the books which I have suggested just now and make additions to your notes. And it doesn't end here. Come back again and revise it multiple times, my friends, because revision makes you perfect. It brings perfection in your studies. So this is the roadmap I am giving you to achieve success in this optional paper, public administration. And another thing is this chapter, the chapter 1 introduction to public administration. In this lecture we are covering only part 1. Part 2 will be coming in the next lecture. Okay, let's continue with our lecture now, friends. In this chapter today we will be covering topic 1. Topic 1 is meaning, scope and significance of public administration. Okay, and the areas which we will be covering in this topic is administration, organization and management. In this area we will go through the differences between these three terms. Okay, and the next area will be definitions. Friends, you can observe this. I have not given definition. The title is definitions, means there are plural definitions, there are many definitions. Okay, we will discuss regarding this when we reach this title. Okay, next area will be nature of PA, nature of public administration, scope of public administration and significance of public administration. Under nature, the third area, nature of public administration, there are two views, integral view and managerial view. We'll see it later. And under the scope of public administration also there are two areas which we'll discuss it later. Okay, now let's continue with our lecture. So the area 1 under topic 1, meaning, scope and significance, under chapter 1, introduction to public administration. Friends, no need to get confused. Okay, study in a relaxed manner. So administration, organization and management. In this area we will try to differentiate between these two terms. Okay, and two important scholars who have contributed to in differentiating these three terms are one important scholar is William Schulze and another is Peter Drucker. So let's see what these two authors, what these two scholars had to say about these three terms. William Schulze says, administration is the force which lays down the object for which an organization and its management are to strive and the broad policies under which they are to operate. So administration is a type of force. It lays down objectives under which organization and management works. Also, okay. So if we can layer into three terms, number 1, number 2 and number 3, according to William Schulze, administration comes under the top slot. Okay. Then organization. An organization is the combination of the necessary human beings, materials, tools, equipment and working space. Also, okay, this is a combination of all these things, and it is brings systematic and effective correlation to accomplish some desired object. So if you can analyze this, my friends, organization is some sort of materialistic. Okay, it brings all the actors together who work in systematic correlation, cooperation to accomplish the desired object. So management is that which leads, guides and directs an organization for the accomplishment of the predetermined object. So he has very beautifully differentiated between the three terms. So let us see what is the final summary of this. Administration sets the goal, management strives to attain it, and organization is the machine of the management for the attainment of the ends determined by the administration. Let's go reverse. Administration, what it does, it lays down the goals. Okay, what should be attained, what should be the final result, it will lay down. And what is management? It strives to attain that goal which is set by administration. What is organization? It is a machine of management which tries to attain the ends. So according to this is the differentiation of these three terms according to William Schulze. I hope there are no doubts here. Let's see what does Peter Drucker has to say about this concept. According to Peter Drucker, management is associated with business activity which has to show economic performance, whereas administration is associated with the non-business activities like the activities of the government. So management, it is directly involved with economic performance, business activities, whereas administration is associated with non-business activities like the activities of the government. It may be public policy, my friends. Okay, it might be various other activities which the government performs where it is unrelated or separated from the business activities. So administrative is a determinative function. It determines the functions according to Peter Drucker. Management, on the other end, is executive function that is primarily concerned with carrying out the broad principles laid down by the administration. Here also he says administration lays down the principles, whereas management is the executive function responsible for carrying out these principles or policies. Okay, so organization is the machinery through which coordination is established between administration and management. So it is very clear what Peter Drucker has to say about these three terms. So I hope there is no doubts here. Let's move forward. So the next topic will be, friends, definitions. As I said earlier, the title is not definition, it is definitions, which means there are multiple definitions given by various scholars of public administration. Let's see. The encyclopedia defines public administration as the application of a policy of a state through its government. So government formulates the policy and administration it applies it implements it according to Encyclopedia Britannica. So you can observe, friends, here according to this definition, the task of public administration is just implementation or application of the policy. Let's go to the next person, Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson is a very prominent scholar, very important scholar in public administration field. He is called as the father father of public administration. He was the person who separated public administration as a discipline from political science. This he did in 1887, my friends. So he is called as father of public administration. So according to him, public administration is the detailed and systematic application of law. It's the application of law. Okay? It's just that bureaucratic arm branch, what it does, that public administration branch, executive branch, just applies the law. That's all. It is not related to formulation of law. It is not related for feedback mechanism. Nothing. Just application of law. Therefore, every particular application of law is an act of administration, according to Woodrow Wilson. Again, this person also, Woodrow Wilson also, this scholar also, he does not speak about public administration as a part of formulation of policy. Okay. L.D. White. According to L.D. White, public administration consists of all those operations having for their purpose the fulfillment or enforcement of public policy. Again, he says something similar to what Woodrow Wilson and the Encyclopedia Britannica says. Its public administration consists of all those operations having for implementation or enforcement of public policy. Let's see. What Luther Gulick has to say, friends. According to Luther Gulick, public administration is that part of science of administration which has to do with the government. It concerns itself primarily with the executive branch where the work of the government is done. Okay. Though there are obviously problems also in connection with the legislative and judicial branches. He brings in a very new dimension, friends. He brings in a new dimension. He says the executive, the public administration has connection with legislative and judicial branches also. How is it? See, if a delegated legislation happens, what happens? The administrative get quasi-legislative functions, powers also. What happens in administrative tribunals? The executive part, they get quasi-judicial powers. Let's see this in detail, but let us see what Luther Gulick has to say, which is different from the other two. The first two, Woodrow Wilson and L.D. White, is public administration is also related to in connection with legislative and judicial branch. So analysis of these definitions देखेंगे अब. Traditional definitions of public administration which are given above reflect the view that public administration is only involved in carrying out the policies and programs of the government. So it reflects that it has no role in policy making, but this is not true. Public administration, the bureaucracy, the executive is very much involved in the process of policy making, my friends. So the above definitions, the traditional definitions, are narrower. It's not broad. Okay. Let's see. But today, let's see, yes, what I was saying. But today, the term public administration is used in the broader sense that it is not only involved in carrying out these programs of the government, but this does not only carry out the programs of the government, but it also plays an important role in policy formulation and covers the three branches of the government. It says two important things here. It plays a public administration, the bureaucracy, the executive plays an important role in policy formulation. And the second important thing, it covers the three branches of the government. What are the three branches of the government? Legislative, executive, and judicial. This is the takeaway. Okay. So, what is public administration? We saw the definitions. We analyzed them. Now let's see what is public administration. Public administration is nothing but non-political public bureaucracy operating in the political system. So, it is non-political. It is apolitical. Okay. In public bureaucracy, not private organ, not MNCs, in public, that is in government, operating in political system. So, executive is very much part of political system. Interdisciplinary nature is the, and it differs significantly from private administration, especially in its emphasis on the public. Okay, covers all three branches of the government, although it tends to be concentrated in the executive branch. So, friends, this was part 1 of introduction to public administration. So we will return with part 2 very soon. So I hope you enjoyed our lecture. So there is a lot pending. We'll do in the second part. So we are Paperless Education India. You can write to us and get in touch with us on Facebook on this address, and you can write to us on our Gmail on this address. So subscribe us. Thank you.